Bang, bang, Southern Fried Gang. Time to do that thing. Oh no. Well, apparently my intro video is not going to play today. Here, let's try that one. Nope. That one didn't work either. Well, that's all right. We don't need an intro video. We don't need it. Just know that you're going to get cooked on Southern Fried Sports, regardless of who you are and where you come from. Or you know what? You might get credit on Southern Fried Sports. But I am JD Wyatt, the Southern Fried Gentleman of Southern Fried Sports. And apparently my phone is going to fall multiple times right here, y'all. Sorry. We're going to get that worked out. We're going to hold it in place. And we're going to get ready to do this show. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this is an interview with East Tennessee State University Buccaneers tight end Charlie Browder. And I present to you Charlie Browder.
What up?
Sir, man, it's my pleasure to have you on the show. Tell everybody just a little bit about you. You can tell them where they can find you on X. We'll save that camp thing for a little bit later. So we got a teaser there. But Charlie, just introduce us to you, man. Tell us all a little bit about yourself, what town you're from, where you came from, other than your mommy. We all know that. But give us a little bit of info about yourself, Charlie. It's your floor for however long you want to take it, my friend.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, JD. Excited to get to talk to you, talk a little ball with you. But I'm Charlie Browder. I'm a tight end here at ETSU. I just transferred here in January from the University of Tennessee. I'm originally from Kingsport, Tennessee, so up here in the Tri-Cities area, just about 25, 30 minutes from Johnson City. So grew up around East Tennessee. I'm an East Tennessee kid. Out of high school, went to UCF in Orlando. I was in Coach Josh Heupel's last recruiting class there. I was recruited by him and Alex Golish, now the head coach at USF. Was there for about 2 weeks, and Coach Heupel took the job up at Tennessee. So had a very early welcome to college football moment with just the way the business side of the sport works. But I was able to had a good year there, made some good friends, learned a lot about myself, and just the way this college football thing works. And after that season, I decided to go on the transfer portal and ended up coming back home to Tennessee, where I was there for 3 years. Graduated in December, like I said. So got my college degree, did what I was supposed to do. But I was there. First game, tore my ACL, kind of derailed a little bit of the progress I'd made there. I'm going to be a rotational guy year one and going to be the guy in years 2 and 3. But my knee had other ideas. So ninth play of my Tennessee career, I tore my knee up against Ball State and kind of battled my way back. Had a little rotational role there this year, and then graduated and decided to go in the portal again to try to get a master's somewhere, and ended up back home at ETSU. So I'm really excited to hopefully finish out my career here and win a Southern Conference championship and battle for a national championship.
Right on. Dude, perfect answer. A lot of people would say, actually, I just got told like a week ago that it's too early to start making predictions and stuff about college football and NFL football. And I'm just like, no, I mean, media days are coming. I mean, this is the time where you start turning the page. And so that's what we're doing here with Charlie. You had several things there in that response that brought a question to my mind. That's what we do here, man. I react to what you say. And I heard you say Josh Heupel. You were at UCF with him. You kind of followed him up to Tennessee. So what is that relationship like between you and Josh Heupel? Did you more one-on-one with him? I mean, how was your recruiting process? Bro, I have no idea. This is my first time interviewing someone like you. So please indulge me.
Yeah.
Give me all the details.
Yeah, Coach Heupel's awesome. He's, in my opinion, the best coach in college football. I love everything about him. Love everything about the program at Tennessee. Really coming out of high school. Initially, it was offense coordinator and tight ends coach Alex Golish that kind of got me in the door at UCF. Coach Golish was the first coach to offer me out of high school. He offered me when he was the tight ends coach at Iowa State. And then about a month later, in January of 2020, he took the OC and tight ends job at UCF. And that's kind of where that relationship really started to blossom. I was able to get down there in March of 2020. I was the last recruit there before COVID hit. So I was able to actually get on campus and see it before, the world turned crazy. But just kind of, going through the whole recruiting process, nothing felt as comfortable as, Coach Hype and Coach Golish and all those guys down at UCF. And I was really excited to, have a career there and be a part of some really cool teams there at UCF. They'd done a lot of cool things. Had a self-proclaimed national championship in 2017. Played, kind of jump-started Joe Burrow's career in 2018 in the Fiesta Bowl there. But I had a chance to play with Dylan Gabriel, obviously a Heisman Trophy contender last year at Oregon. But it was a really cool program I was going into, and I was all in on the Knights, and loved Coach Hype. His offense is obviously incredible. So got nothing but great things to say about him, and he gave me the opportunity to come to Tennessee and fulfill a childhood dream. Every East Tennessee kid dreams of running through the tee and playing in front of 102,000 in Neyland Stadium. So he allowed me to, fulfill that childhood dream of mine to wear the orange and white. And I can't thank Coach Hype and Coach Golish and all of those guys at Knoxville enough for the opportunity that they gave me there.
Man, it's something to be said for great relationships.
Yeah.
You never know where they may take you. And that, again, love to hear what you had to say about Josh Heupel there. I think he's a fantastic coach. I don't know honestly, I picked them to go beat Ohio State. To go beat Ohio State last year. I picked it. I really have no answer as to why that game went the way it went. I know a little bit of ball, Charlie. Probably not nearly as much as you do, though.
Yeah.
Not nearly as much ball. But that, again, great answer on Josh Heupel. And so we were just talking, though, about your transfer portal, moving from place to place and all that stuff. Can I get your opinion? We talked about it a little bit before. Can you give all of the listeners, whatever answer you need to give? I understand if you need to answer it a certain way. But how do you feel about NCAA versus Rashul Faison, the delay that they've given him? And then it goes back to the UNC receiver last year. Even Tim Frisbee, the 40-year-old who played football at University of South Carolina 20 years ago, he had an ordeal with NCAA and eligibility. So just speaking, though, to Rashul Faison in the 6 months he's been waiting, maybe give me some player insight as to if it were you and his situation. Obviously the NFL has already surpassed that chance to get in there this year. So I mean, what are you doing at this point, mind-wise, mentally-wise, Charlie, in this situation?
Yeah, that was a very similar situation for Tennessee baseball this year with Alberto Ozuna. He was at North Carolina, I think, and transferred to University of Tampa. And then when all the JUCO ruling stuff with Diego Pavia came out, he tried to transfer to Tennessee and was ruled eligible, which, I think there's a lot of questions around it. I think there's a lot up in the air just because there's no rules around it. You know what I mean? It's all lawsuits and the rulings are done by judges, not, by the people that should be writing the rule book. So I think it's just there's so much up in the air and so much just uncertainty when it comes to eligibility and all that stuff. Because, man, I have a former teammate that I played with at UCF who thought he was going to get another year and transferred to UCLA. And then, in February and March, whatever it was told, no, you can't play anymore. You got to go try to play in the NFL now. And that he didn't get a shot because he wasn't training for it. He was just he was playing with his, with his new school. But then I have teammates that do have eligibility because of it. So I think there's just a lot up in the air and a lot of uncertainty where I think you got to try to get a blanket rule because there's too many guys that are sitting in limbo and that makes it tough, man. If I'm that kid at South Carolina, man, I don't know what I'd do. because you go to a place expecting to play, expecting to be a big time contributor, and then you don't even get a chance to actually suit up. You're not even allowed to, just because of some rulings, and you're waiting on court decisions and things like that. Like, man, I think it's really confusing, and there's not much certainty sitting around eligibility now. And I think it also kind of goes back to COVID with everybody getting extra years now, so you never know. It's used to just be have 5 years to play 4. Now it's shoot, you could be that dude from Miami last year that played 9 years.
9 years.
Like I don't know. There's just a lot of uncertainty around it, and a lot of things that are left in limbo that creates confusion for players and universities.
Right. And you nailed it again. I mentioned to you before the show my dirty C words. Yes, family show, people, eyes up here. Not those dirty C words. The other dirty C words like competition, chemistry, culture. Certainty is one of them. Consistency is one of them. Like, literally, you could just define your life around C words and live a daggum good, respectable human being life if you wanted to around those dirty C words. But it's just so much uncertainty, to your point, about the NCAA. And so I do respect the listeners and everything here, Charlie, to segue it a little bit. So we have one listener here, Madcraft. He wants to know, in honor of Tim Tebow, does old Charlie think that he could maybe move to QB and throw some dimes? He wants you to do the reverse Tim Tebow. He wants you to go from tight end to quarterback.
No shot. Absolutely not. I've hit too many things. My shoulders hurt too much. And I got to play about 3 games in 6th grade at quarterback just because my dad was one of our coaches. And he's like, screw it. This is Charlie's last year of fun football before he gets into middle school. So we'll let him play quarterback. And I think I might have threw 1 touchdown. So no shot.
I feel you. Listen, I wanted to play football. My parents would not let me. The closest I ever got to a football field was walking on it after the game. You know, meet at the Tiger or whatever they call it down at Clemson, South Carolina.
Yeah.
I think we call it meeting at the Devil in Clinton, South Carolina, where I went. We're the Clinton Red Devils there. But, hey, Charlie, so can you give me your favorite high school game real quick? We're going to go a little off topic. That one just popped in my head.
Okay.
What was your favorite game you played? Was it crazy statistics? Did you run somebody over blocking? Winning a championship? Like, what was it? What was your favorite game? High school.
Probably my best game was 2020. I was at Christ School in Asheville. We played Abbeville, South Carolina. I had like 7 catches for like 115 yards or something like that.
And so 7 touchdowns?
No, I didn't score. All my balls were caught too far away from the end zone. But yeah, I caught a bunch of balls that game, so that was fun. But then probably my favorite game, we won a state championship my senior year in 2020 at Christ School. It was the first state championship in 120 years of the school. So
wow.
we were 0 for 9, 0 for 8 at that point. So we had lost the year before, and it was a good culmination to a crazy COVID year. Public schools in North Carolina didn't play, but private schools did. So it was a lot of fun to be able to play in a state championship game. And my last game in high school, we won. We absolutely smacked Harold's Christian from Wilmington. So then we got to play on our home field. So that was fun. That was probably my favorite game. We smoked cigars in the locker room, did the whole thing. So it was cool.
Right on, man. That's awesome. Listen, I played high school baseball. We did not have the luxury of ever making the playoffs while I was there, but I itched for it. I mean, I was a pretty daggone good baseball player back in the day, Charlie. My last year I was all conference, all state. I batted .465. I had 32 singles and a triple. I was not a power hitter, obviously.
Got
on base and I was stealing bases.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to hear that story though, that's fantastic stuff. I'm so glad we're getting to bring this to the listeners. Madcraft, he's already complimented you over here. You had one fantastic answer, probably many more to go. And he says good stuff there. And then we've got P Digits here. We got Brian, Madcraft, like I mentioned. We've also got Kane. So listen, hey, you said you wanted some publicity, bro. And I got some loyal listeners, some loyal followers. So we'll help you out any way we can. Like I was saying earlier, to go back to another conversation we were having. I love rooting for the smaller schools, the ones that they want the media coverage, because those are the ones that JD can get media credentials for and go see free basketball games at Furman. We'll be doing shows from Furman football this year. We have like a whole little kickoff show for the SoCon, Charlie, just so you know. So you'll definitely be mentioned on that show when we're previewing the day of action for the Southern Conference.
All
So
right.
we're going to get all of that coverage here on Southern Fried Sports. And Charlie, so graciously joining us today. I'm having fun so far, Charlie. How are you?
Yeah, it's been fun. I'm
All
enjoying it.
right.
You're asking good questions.
Good deal. Good deal. So back to the Southern Conference football stuff where I was going. Is there a place you're looking forward to playing at this year? Is there one you're not looking forward to it? Are you just ready to get out there and block, tackle, catch, do what you're supposed to do anyway? Like, what
Um,
is your mindset here in July?
Man, just coach answer is just taking a day at a time, just trying to get bigger, faster, stronger, because that's what July is for. We got, I guess, tomorrow, and then got another week and a half before we have a little break before fall camp starts, and it's real football. So right now, just taking a day at a time. But we got a fun schedule this year. Everybody says that our schedule this year, the odd number of years, kind of sucks because all your tough rivalry type games are on the road, and the teams that you don't have much animosity for all come to Johnson City. So I guess coming from Tennessee, I'm excited to go play back in Neyland in week 2. That's the one you got definitely everybody circled on the calendar. That's the easy answer. But I think just hearing about the rivalry, like with Chattanooga that we got, rivalry with Western and Furman and all that, like I'm excited to be able to go and play in some of those games. And man, I'm excited for them all. I'm excited to play in front of the fans of the Tri-Cities, so I'm excited.
That Neyland one, yeah, it's got to be huge. Going to face your former head coach.
Yeah,
Coming to ETSU. Yeah, I mean, going back to face your old team. You're obviously the day of it is you just got to treat it like another game, right?
Yeah, I mean it'll be a little bit familiar.
No, it won't, because you'll be in the wrong locker room.
Yeah. Well,
So, hey, y'all, hey, Charlie gonna mess up and walk in the Tennessee locker room before the game.
Yeah, we'll definitely be in the crappy locker room. I don't know if it's painted pink like they have it at Iowa, but it's definitely not nice.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
So Iowa's visit. Okay, here. Oh, that's what we do here, Charlie. Good. I like that, Charlie. So Iowa's visiting locker room bathroom is pink.
But yeah, I think the whole locker room's pink.
The whole locker room. Okay.
I haven't played there, but yeah, I've seen.
I'm sure you've heard it from somebody who knows. Okay, so Charlie, sorry to interrupt you, but that leads me here. Worst visitors locker room you've ever been in ever. I know there's one, bro. We'll wait till this year in the SoCon. You might have to come back to me on that answer.
Yeah.
But so, okay, here we'll flip it. What was the best one playing at Tennessee? What are some of the SEC visiting locker rooms you went to, and how were they?
I mean, they're all pretty crappy because they're old stadiums. The best one, I mean, it don't really count, but we played at Temple my freshman year at UCF, and it was they played in the Eagle Stadium in Lincoln Financial, and so we had an NFL away locker room, so that was nice.
Yeah.
So,
it's always nice when you show up and you get more than expected, right?
Yeah. So there was also 12 people there watching the game, so it balanced out.
12 people. I think we've maxed out on that many people watching this show here so far, Charlie. So
let's go.
We're doing good. Maybe we should get a payout from the NCAA. Yeah. Hey, speaking of that, it was ETSU part of that house settlement. Were
Yeah.
are so will do you expect to get any paycheck? Not to be in your financial business or anything. Don't divulge anything you don't want. But is there talks that they share? Like, are they getting some of that for football? ETSU.
Yeah, we're supposed to. It's all based on your school. So obviously, a place like Ohio State, Tennessee, Texas that make buttloads of money, their players are going to get more just based off they have more revenue and whatnot. So I think for us, I don't know what that's going to look like. I'm not expecting much. So if whatever I get is going to be great, type thing.
Right.
So I don't
It's
know.
like when you get it's like when you get emailed from one of those class action lawsuits and they're like, "Hey, if you take 30 minutes and sign up for this, you're eligible for $35." And it's like, I think I would just rather keep my 30 minutes of time.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Like, yeah,
I have no idea what it's going to look like for us. They had to sign some papers for it. Other than that, I
right.
have no.
That'll be interesting to know how it plays out. And Charlie, like I said, we've got some people watching, man. I think this is going fantastic. We still have way more topics to get into. We're 20 minutes in. We'll we'll take a little break and reset maybe some of the questions in a little bit. Y'all feel free to send in your questions. Brian, he mentions Abbeville like you did. That was one question I was going to ask you about, Charlie. So you said you played Abbeville down here in South Carolina.
Yep.
Brian, he lived near Abbeville. I played baseball in Abbeville. Like it was like 45 minutes from where I grew up. Do you know about them? So you know they've dominated state championships for quite some time. Were you aware though that they got reclassified to 1A here in South Carolina?
So, story with that game, we were supposed to play High Point Christian out of Greensboro, and they got COVID. So that game got canceled. We were like this whole schedule was all messed up. It was COVID, whatever. There's no public schools playing in North Carolina. It's all private. So we had to play 4 of our games were the same 2 teams. So we were supposed to play Raven Gap twice. We were supposed to play High Point twice. High Point got COVID after their first game, so we couldn't play them. So our coach just hit up whoever in Abbeville had a cancellation, and they like, hey, come play us. So then we had a bye week 2, and then went and played them week 3. So I knew they were really good historically, and they had a couple good players. I think they had a kid going to ECU or something like that. They had some thick farm fed boys, but I don't know anything outside of that game. I don't know anything about it. I knew that it was a fun high school football environment. That being from a school with 300 boys in the mountains of North Carolina, we didn't usually get that type of environment. So it felt like real high school football again, which was good for me. I enjoyed that. It was a band, all
Right.
that you take for granted when you're playing public school football, and then you get to a private school and it's not like that. And you can miss a little bit.
The private school where I'm from played 8-man football.
Yeah.
That's just wild to me. And then, I mean, yeah, to what you were just responding to. So you basically nailed Abbeville though, and they dominated winning state championships for I don't know at least like the last 10 years. I could be way off here. I'm sure someone will correct me, Brian or someone. Abbeville has been dominant for a while in 2A football. So Charlie, they just rezoned everybody though, and Abbeville gets the luck of the draw going down to 1A. I can't complain much. My team, Clinton, they've been 3A forever. They should only have been 2A even when I was there. Like 800 to 900 students, that's a 2A school, period, in my opinion. But we also had another like mentally handicapped facility that got included in our school's population, and it bumped us up to 3A. But we should have been 2A, and then Abbeville, they got this luck of the draw to go down to 1A. And you thought they was dominating high school football in South Carolina already? Just watch them run through 1A like it's nothing because, like, I mean, we're talking like college teams versus high school teams. You know what I mean, Charlie?
Yeah.
Like that level of dominance. Which leads me to my next question. Could the best college team ever beat the worst NFL team, Charlie? Where do you land on that debate?
Absolutely not.
Couldn't beat them. No chance.
No shot. No
No
shot.
shot.
Those guys are professionals. There's too many slappies on college football teams to compete with a team full of professionals.
I would say so if they did play a game and the college team won it, maybe the first game, which we're talking like 10% chance if that were to happen. But if they were to win that first game, I guarantee you, if they played it 9 times over, it's like NFL 9 out of 10. You know what I mean? Like, you know the saying, anybody could beat anybody on any given day, but in this specific scenario, that's what would be weird about it is if they did just do this like one-off game, like, hey, we'll do this one-off game, and then college did beat them. Now at that point, you got to keep going because the NFL ain't gonna go out like that.
Yeah. Well, it also depends. Like, it's a completely different game. Like, are you going to play with college hashes, pro hashes? Are you going to
Fair,
use
fair.
the college goalpost, pro goalpost, whatever? Like, you going to what timing rules you're going to use? Challenges that like it's kickoff rules. What are you going to do? How are you going to kick it off? Like, it's a different game. It's the same game, but it's different. It's played differently. So,
Right.
you can't compare it.
I agree. That's a great answer. And so, speaking though of two different games, so where do you land on this? I'm so glad these questions are coming to my head, Charlie. I hope you don't mind me asking them. I hope you're having fun.
You're fine. I'm enjoying it.
This question though, so flag football has become a huge topic, and they're talking about NFL players going to play flag football. But we just talked about how different football is from college to the NFL. So, where do you land? Should the NFL players just let the flag football players do the thing they've already been doing because that's a different game? Or do you think NFL players should step in and play in the Olympics?
I think the NFL players should because they're better. It's a different game, but it's the same game. And if those flag football guys were good enough to play in the NFL, they'd be in the NFL and they wouldn't be playing flag football.
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that one. I like the answer, but I don't. Everybody's situation is different. I mean, so here, let me paint you this example then, Charlie. So I didn't play football like I told you. I wanted to. I thought I would have been a really good wide receiver, but I didn't get to play in high school. But I played flag football recreationally and intramurally when I was in college all 4 years. I still even played. I just retired from flag football and kickball. I just retired from those two games. You know, they didn't give me a going away tour or anything, but I'm still a little bit athletic, so I was decent. But you just can't say though that a flag football player wouldn't have made it. Man, that's touchy for me. I don't know. I don't even know how to word it to you, Charlie.
I don't know. Like, you think one of those flag football players is gonna be better at flag football than Tyreek Hill? Dudes don't even touch Tyreek Hill on the field normally. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't.
Right. I guess it would be again like you mentioned earlier. I guess it would be like the rules and stuff like that, and also I imagine there has got to be some different nuances to the game because, like with the flags dangling off of you and everything, if you do like a 360 spin, all of those flags twirl. So I think there's different intricacies, big word here on Southern Fried Sports. I think there's different intricacies of avoiding a tackle in flag football versus avoiding a real life tackle. I mean, some would say it might be easier to avoid a flag football tackle than an NFL tackle, but it pulling those flags is hard on some players. And I'm just saying, everybody's story is different. Where I was going, I guess, would be that, maybe I was a baller wide receiver in flag football, and I got noticed by somebody, and they tried to bring me to the NFL, and it was just garbage. Like I was just meant to be a flag football receiver. but I don't just to say they don't have the talent necessarily to do it. I think would be a stretch because I would say they're supremely talented, right, Charlie? I mean, you could agree with that part.
I think NFL players are the greatest athletes in the world, and no matter what it is, like whatever these professional flag football players are, they aren't going to be as good as Tyreek Hill is. Like their quarterback's not going to be as good as Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? Like I don't think like nobody's going to go out there and be able to guard Travis Kelce on a one-on-one fade ball type thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I think there's just the guys in the NFL are just too good to be able to where those flag football guys can't compete with them. I think there could be some athletes that are good enough to play there, but I think just in general the NFL players will be a lot better at flag football because I mean you basically play flag football in practice when you're playing 7-on-7.
Right.
So
I guess I would land. I guess I could land it somewhere in the middle for us both right here. Is I would say yes, the NFL players would be very good at flag football. They could beat all of the other flag football teams because most of them in other countries they grow up playing soccer and stuff anyway. So that would be the Olympics, though. You know, Olympic different countries versus America. So yes, our NFL players and our flag football players are probably better than all of the country everywhere. And I guess I would say that it needs to land on another dirty C word for the NFL and the Olympic flag football team. Collaboration. You know what I mean? Work together.
yeah,
Mix them up, you know. Compromise. Another dirty C word. Compromise. And because yes, there's no need for the football community to get divided over football when this is something that I mean we can't win in soccer. We can't win the gold in soccer for men anymore. We're China, Japan, they always give us a run for gold medals. Basketball we own. So we need to own American football where this is the only place in the world that this is where it means football. Right?
yeah.
Charlie, what other interests sports wise do you have? You find yourself watching any baseball, soccer, tennis? Where could you rank them? What are you thinking about other sports?
I mean, in high school, I played basketball. I was a pretty good basketball player.
Yeah, you're 6'7". That makes sense.
Yeah, I love going to baseball games in person. I can't watch baseball on TV unless it's college. I can watch college baseball on TV a little bit, especially towards the postseason, but I can't watch it on MLB baseball on TV.
Right. I prefer college baseball over MLB.
I guess that's my TikTok brain. I guess I don't know. My attention span's gotten worse. But I love if I can go to a baseball game. I love going to baseball games. There's nothing better than being at the ballpark. Get a little hot dog. Yeah, nothing better.
Here, P Digits agrees with you.
Shout
He
out
says
Pete.
I'm with Charlie on the flag football and NFL football. Usain Bolt. He may be a fantastic wide receiver in flag football, but he would get crushed in the NFL. Dude's fast. Didn't somebody just beat his record recently, though?
I have no idea. You're asking the wrong guy.
Well, I'm asking you and I'm asking the listeners.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, somebody. But yeah, I know, dude, you're so busy. That was one other question I was going to ask you. They just keep leading one to the next, Charlie. What is your typical day like right now? So, like, your normal like schedule. What time are you up? What time are you at practice? I know you
Yeah.
said you were even cutting grass and everything earlier. So
yeah. So today's going to be a busy day for me. But normally I'm up. We have to be at breakfast around 6:45 to 7:15 ish. So I try to get.
Y'all do team breakfast?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll eat at the student center every
I
morning.
like it. That develops camaraderie. Dirty C word.
Yep. But for me, workouts usually start about 8. So I usually try to get on campus about an hour before that, just to have enough time to do everything I need to do. So I'll usually get to the cult where we eat breakfast at 7. Go over to the mini dome, get my laundry loop, get dressed. Some days we're in the weight room first. Some days we're out on the grass fields first. Some days we're meeting first. It just depends on the day. So like today, we were out on the field first. So I went, got changed, went out to the field, did our run, came back in, put a dry shirt on, went in the weight room, got our lift in. And then we had practice yesterday, a little OTA deal. So I went up and watched some film after that, and then came home, ate lunch, and had to mow the grass. It was my turn to mow. So,
Right. Your turn to mow. So roommates?
No. So me and the next door neighbor, we got a little deal where he'll mow every 2 weeks. I mow every 2 weeks. So you get double the work, but you only have to do it every 4 weeks.
Right, dude. If I made that deal with my neighbor, we both have push mowers. That would be like the worst deal ever. But
yeah, same.
It totally makes sense on your part. Like, how big is your yard?
It's not massive, but it's like just sectioned off enough to where it's kind of a pain in the butt.
Right, manageable, but you got to maneuver around everywhere.
Yeah, and
I feel you.
I need to get some loppers out here and cut some limbs down. I was having to bend over a lot to get under trees and stuff.
Yeah, well, we don't want to hurt the star tight ends back before we get to the season, my friend. So I tell you what, I know we're at 36 minutes. We appreciate everybody being here so far. I appreciate Charlie. I don't know if did I mention the sponsors earlier, Charlie? Did I do that?
I don't think so. Shout out.
I don't think I did either. Arden's Burger and Grill down in Central South Carolina. Beef and Rib in Westminster. If you go in and drop the name Southern Fried Gentleman, they'll give you a discount or a free sweet tea. So if you need to go down and do that, we're also sponsored by W Energy, Pepsi Cola, Hyundai of Anderson. I write articles for GreenvilleSportsMedia.com. I look forward to writing many of them about ETSU and Charlie Browder's Buccaneers this year. I will definitely have some articles on that. I am credentialed through the Southern Conference, and there are articles already up on GreenvilleSportsMedia.com. So, with all of that said, we're getting ready to wind down in the next 10, 15 minutes. So, if you have any questions for Charlie, send them in now. And I'm going to give Charlie the floor here again for a moment when I ask him this question. Will East Tennessee State win the Southern Conference Football Championship this year?
I like
And you can just give me a whole rundown about the Southern Conference. Your schedule, your teams that you're looking forward to playing. You can even go win-loss, Charlie. Whatever you're comfortable doing, the floor is yours for a few minutes. I'll tell you what, don't forget, we'll go ahead and mention your camp. Let's get that in there. Okay. Let's tell everybody about what's going on with ETSU football, and we'll clip this and we'll make them pumped up for Buccaneer football this year. You go ahead and go for it, my friend.
Yeah, so you mentioned my camp. So I got a camp coming up, the Charlie Browder Fun Fest football camp coming up on July 19th. It's going to be at the Kingsport Boys and Girls Club. It's a free camp. It's part of Fun Fest in Kingsport, which I'm sure none of you guys are in the Tri-Cities area. So Fun Fest is a big event, week-long event in my hometown where there's a ton of free events that you can go to. It starts with a big 8K race, and there's parade and all that good stuff, and it ends with concerts. Like this year, we're having Brad Paisley come and perform with fireworks and all that jazz. So my camp's going to be part of that. It's going to be free. I got 20 coaches coming, so got a bunch of ETSU guys, mainly ETSU guys. Got a couple other small college local guys from Kingsport, and then a couple guys I've met along the way from Tennessee. So really excited about that. Really excited to be able to get out in the community and play some ball with some kids and just teach the game, have them run around, have fun, be around college football players. Because at the end of the day, whenever I went to those kind of camps growing up, I don't remember anything about the football. I just remember hanging out with college football players and thinking, whoever it was, it could be a guy that has never touched the field, never even sniffed it. But the fact that he was a college football player was really, really cool to me. And I'm just excited to bring that opportunity to more kids in the Tri-Cities area. And then as for the season, I'm a SoCon rookie, so I don't know too much about it. but I think we got as good a chance as anybody to make some noise in the SoCon and fight, trying to compete for a conference championship and get a spot in the playoffs and go make some noise on a national level and go whoop up on those Dakota teams. So I'm excited about the year. I think we got a chance to be really good, especially on offense. We got a lot of good pieces that I think we'll score a lot of points. We're going to play fast, and I think we're going to play an exciting brand of football.
What is your favorite play?
My favorite play is
without obviously, let's not give Chattanooga or Furman any too much details.
The play that
but
scores.
Your favorite, is it a run play, pass play? Give me some generics.
Blocking, I like counter. I think it's fun getting out in space, being a little bit of a big guy, pulling and all that stuff. So counter's fun for me.
A little bit of a big guy, man. Be quiet. You 6'7", 255, and I bet you move like the wind, don't you, Charlie?
No, I gotta unhook the trailer sometimes. But yeah, I like counter in the run game. Pass game, I like deep option. We don't really run that here, but we ran a lot at Tennessee. So anything where
that was the what option?
Deep option. It's just
deep option. Okay.
You just take what the defense gives you and go and score a touchdown and bombs over their heads. So that's the plays I like.
Really? So you're telling me right now there's a play called the deep option, and it's just everybody run and make a play for the end zone.
I mean, not actually, but
kind of. Like I said, you can't divulge too much information.
I mean, you're reading your defender and you have your choices and you're making
right. Like a lot of people started referring to the RPO, run pass option.
Yeah, it's kind of
as the triple option, but yeah, basically it's just like it's backyard football.
A little bit. With
like, hey, you go run this route. They just what I mean? Like, you just go do this, you go do that, and then we'll figure it out when we snap the ball.
There's heavy guard.
That sounds like backyard football to me, Charlie. Man, that explains why Josh Heupel is so good. He just plays backyard football. I'm down for it. Is that the whole secret? Did I find the secret sauce?
No, not at all. But no, there's some cool stuff that they do pass game wise that I really like. So you can go on NCAA and you can go on College Football 26 and look at it.
Hey, speaking of, do you play the game?
No, I played it last year when I was in it with my roommates, but I don't have a system.
What do you mean? Hold on, whoa, time out. What do you mean you're not in it this year?
No, FCS teams aren't in it.
That's garbage. Y'all, hey, Brian Pettit, you're the one been playing College Football 26. You were commenting earlier. Hey, man, boycott that game. There's no FCS schools in it, man. That's garbage.
Yeah, so
I'd create a school right now, and it would be ETSU, and Madcraft and me would make you the quarterback.
You probably wouldn't play very well. You wouldn't score a lot of points.
We would do it. We'd do a creative player. We'd max you out, Charlie, at 99 all around.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. You've been a 99 guest so far, man. I'm having a blast. I know we mentioned your camp. Is there anything else that you maybe want to share, either about yourself or say maybe there's something that college football fans just have wrong about the players that you want to address? Charlie, I'll let you take the floor again, man. Whatever you want to say, whatever you're feeling, you say it.
I don't know. I think college football players are good people. Come to a practice and I'll come up and shake your hand and make you feel like you're part of the team. I guess I don't know. That's what we're trying to do here at ETSU.
Hey, that's a good answer. Here, let me get more specific on you. So, say a fan gambled on you to have 2 catches for 10 yards, or maybe your over/under was set at 10 yards. How do you feel about some of these fans coming after athletes when they don't make their prop bet? That's been a huge ordeal. You've seen all the fan and player interactions. DeMarcus Cousins ejected. There was the guy from the Detroit Tigers who had a run in with a fan. I'm forgetting one other one. So I've always said, as a fan, when you purchase a ticket, it does not come with the right to be disrespectful. Have fun bantering the player as much as you want, but keep it civil.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, at the end of the day, it's a family show, eyes up here. It's a family game. There's kids in the stands. So, say, for example, somebody gambled on you. You didn't make the bet, and they came at you, yelling at you, calling you garbage. Like, what what do you think about that whole situation in general? Maybe even if it weren't you per se.
I think it's dumb. I mean, well, what if I got stock in your company and then you guys do bad and I go in your DMs and tell you how terrible you are? I mean,
Right.
that's not a normal thing to do. So I don't know. I think I don't know. Kind of a rule I live by is don't be an asshole. So sorry
But
for saying
nope,
that.
nope, nope, nope. You can drop that one, brother. That one, I'm good.
But like,
That is perfect. Yeah.
I think a lot
Just
of
be
times,
kind to one another, damn it. And I
yeah,
don't know. I usually say dang it, but hey, we'll be right there together, Charlie. I'm with you, bro.
I don't know. That's just kind of a rule I live by. I think that can solve a lot of issues as long as you're not an asshole. I think a lot of times you're gonna be fine in life. So I think people need to live by that a little bit more.
Absolutely. And you don't know what someone's going through either.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I
mean,
mean? Like
I
if
I don't know. I don't gamble. Obviously, that's not allowed. But like, if my over unders 10.5 yards and I don't catch a ball in a game, like, and we lose, I'm not happy about it. So like, what? And then I get a DM from Jerry from Mountain City, and it's like, dude, you lost me $25. Like, okay, I'm sorry. You're betting on FCS football, whatever. Like
no,
I got a comment on one of my Instagram pictures last year because my NCAA player dropped the ball. I'm like, dude, I didn't create my NCAA player. Like, whatever.
right.
Like I don't really care. I think if guys want to be really, yeah, I guess it is guys, but if dudes want to be rude, let them be rude. I really don't care. Because at the end of the day, I'm still me, and they would do anything. They would do anything to be in my position. So they're not.
Facts.
So I just
Facts.
keep doing me, I guess. Luckily, I
Man,
haven't.
that is facts. Charlie Browder is Southern frying up facts over here, y'all. You're right, dude. Always be you. That's the one thing too. Like, yeah, you might not know what another person's going through, but yeah, at the end of the day, there's some people that you're not gonna affect them regardless. Like, and it's mostly jealousy or envy. I mean, the whole Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark thing in the WNBA, that's wild, obviously. But yeah, you're doing fantastic things. We did have one question for you though. P Digits here. He asked, does ETSU have a play called the annexation of Puerto Rico? And I'll give you $10 of Southern Fried Bucks, Charlie, if you can name the movie that quote came from.
No, I don't think Coach Healy is using a play from the movie Little Giants. Am I right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, we don't have a play called the annexation of Puerto Rico. It's a little bit too long. It's a little wordy.
Right. Yeah, you got to cut that down a little bit.
Yeah.
You got to cut that down. That's fantastic, Charlie. Great answer. Great stuff, man. I've had a fantastic time. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I specifically wanted to ask you. Number one would be, have you had a good time? And do you plan on coming back again?
Yeah, I've enjoyed myself. If you want to have me on again, we can
Oh
try
no,
to.
it's not an if. I already told you. You, bro, anytime you want to come on, you message me. I'll message you too, obviously. But listen, anytime you want to come on, love to have you. Period. End of discussion. I think it's been fantastic. We're closing up on 50 minutes. We've covered literally all different kinds of topics. I don't know that there is another one I can ask you other than there is one, and we got a few more minutes if you're good, Charlie. So let me ask you this one: how hard was it navigating the transfer portal? Like, is it like the super easiest thing ever? Like, app on your phone, enter your name, you're good. Like, Did you have to jump in over any hoops? Like how was it with the portal?
Um, I had two very different experiences with it both times. Like, 'cause obviously, one, I was a young guy, still, trying to find my way in college football. And this past time, I was a graduate and knew what college football was and what it's like. First time was easy. Went in, talked to a couple teams. Tennessee wanted me. That was it. Second time, it was a little tougher. It it's different now because there's probably 20 times more people that go in at once. So I waited until after we lost to Ohio State. That kind of didn't help. So just timing of it, like there were guys that missed playoff games, missed bowl games because of it. I didn't want to do that. So I stayed with the team through the end.
Yep. Loyalty. I wish I could make that a dirty. Well, I guess commitment is that, but yeah,
But I mean,
that's a great characteristic to have. Loyalty.
There were definitely a lot of schools that said, "Hey, we would love to have you, but we've already filled up our tight end room for the year." And then kind of going back to the eligibility thing, like this whole house settlement, teams are dropping to 105 roster spots, and so they're having to figure out whether they're going to have to cut guys or not. And tight ends usually a position where you can survive with less guys if you need to, because you can always move a defensive lineman and put them in there to run through somebody's face on third down, whatever. So for me, it was a little bit trickier navigating it, but at the end of the day, like the good Lord put me where I'm supposed to be here at ETSU, and I'm close to family, close to friends. Like it's been a great situation ever since I've decided to come to ETSU. The situation's gotten better and better. So I'm happy with the way my portal process ended up for me. But to answer your question, it is not simple at all. Like unless you're, I don't know, Caleb Downs, and you could literally just pick a name out of a hat, and that's the school you could go to. Like for guys who are trying to find a place to call home and aren't a top 5 guy in college football, like it could be difficult to go through that whole process. But like I said, for me, I ended up in the right spot, so I'm happy with it.
Right. Hey, again, love that answer, and exactly to what you were just saying. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Yeah, to your whole answer though, there are, I don't know, 14, 1,500 people that enter the portal, and there's only X amount of them who find a spot to where they're going. You know what I mean? Like there are so many portal players that end up and they don't find their next destination. They enter it, and good thing it's not like a cliff that they're jumping off of, because if it were, they would have no place to land, Charlie.
Yep.
I mean, fortunately, and I'm glad for you too, thankfully. How much? Because you said there were schools that reached out and stuff. So you led me to this question: how much tampering is going on in college football? Answer
Um,
that as generically as you need to.
I think it happens. Probably
Well,
not.
I mean, we saw Lenore Seller's dad come out and say someone offered him $8 million. So yeah, where you tell me your answer. Like I said, be as generic as you need to be.
Like I think it happens, but in the technical sense, it's not necessarily tampering because these collectives are the ones that are doing it. Usually it's collectives that will reach out to somebody's camp. They usually don't reach out directly to the player because guys have agents now and all that. So they'll reach out to the agent or the high school coach or whatnot. But coaches aren't.
But okay,
Coaches,
so hold on, let me stop. Can I
people do
stop you on that one, Charlie? Sorry, let me stop you right there on that one. So I have a question that. So do we really think that the NIL collective is reaching out to players that the football team may not want?
No, I think it's also a thing too where sometimes it's a two-way street. So people's camps will reach out to people, like if it's a guy that went in the portal last year and is going back in, like, maybe this guy's agent's like, hey, so-and-so is not happy at school Y. So then they reach out to school X and they're like, hey, you wanted him last year. Look at his production this year. Do you want him again? Type deal. I don't know. I try to stay out of that. I mean, guys can do what they want. I'm all for guys getting as much money as they possibly can, because you never know when you're going to get hurt, or when ball's going to end, and you want to set yourself up and your family up for the future. So
Right.
for me, I think it happens, but the guys who have issues with it are guys that you probably wouldn't want on your team anyway.
Very true. Very true statements here by Charlie. And you know what, Charlie? I think that is a perfect spot to bring in the airplane and land the show, my friend. Listen, I've had a fantastic time. I hope you have. I'm gonna let you run. I know you've got way more important things to do than sit here with a little old stupid guy called the Southern Fried Gentleman down here in South Carolina. But you just know that I'm rooting for you. P Digits right here. He said, I'm rooting for you. Have to run. Great show, JD and Charlie. And good luck to you this season, Charlie. So, Charlie, I'll tell everybody where they can find you on X, Facebook, whatever. Don't forget to mention your camp again. And
Yep.
we're getting ready to sign off, my friend.
Yeah. First of all, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. Always fun to get to talk a little ball and answer some questions you don't normally get to answer. So appreciate that. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram or Twitter. It's really easy. It's at Charlie Browder. So nothing crazy there. But yeah, camp's July 19th at Boys and Girls Club of Greater Kingsport. It's going to be free, absolutely no cost to anybody. Free shirt for the first 100 kids that are registered. Free pizza for everybody. Get a poster that you can get signed by all the guys. So put out some stuff on social media about that. So you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Links are in my bio. There's some graphics I'm putting out now that have QR codes on them that you can scan to sign up. So really excited about that, and really fired up to coach up some kids on July 19th.
Right on. So listen, Charlie, whenever you get, obviously, let's get this camp over with and everything. When you get down to the season, man, if there's 30 minutes a week or so that you can carve out for you and I, 15, 10, 20, whatever. Anytime there's a few minutes of things that you want to say, whether it be about a win or a loss or life in general, that's what we do here on Southern Fried Sports. I'm here to unite the fans. So make sure to follow greenvillesportsmedia.com. Follow Charlie. Follow me. We appreciate everyone being here today. And Charlie, like I said, let's book something. Even if it's every week, 2 weeks, whatever, you let me know what works for you and we'll figure it out. Okay, brother?
All right. I got you, bro.
All right. Sounds good. Like I said, y'all, I can't play my intro video anymore, apparently, but it says and it's got some frying noises. Look on a previous video, find my intro and outro video. But as for now, y'all be blessed, not stressed. Just be kind to one another. Dang it. And actually, I'll see y'all later tonight on Fire Up with the South Florida Tribune. Good afternoon and evening, everybody. Bang, bang.